Yeah, so, all right, I was just hanging out, and I was like, man, because I did Universe mode on 2K20. Horrible decision, by the way. Shouldn't have done that. I started Universe mode, and I was like, oh, man, because every time I start Universe mode, I always use the SmackDown Oval Arena, because that's when I watch SmackDown the most, I think, was when they had the Oval screen. So, like, that one holds a lot of shit with me.
Got a feeling.
Yeah, so I was like, let me go back and watch, like, an Oval screen episode. So I clocked on the episode, and it was May 24th, 2001. And, this was, people thought that this was, I got a couple tweets and like, I was talking about the booking, and people were like, yeah, Paul Heyman was doing this. And Paul actually didn't start booking until 2002. Okay. So this was still very much so Vince McMahon and whoever else was on the board at that time. But this was the show actually with TLC 3, the third TLC match they did. This also featured Jericho and Benoit.
That match ruled.
Yeah, it was actually really good.
That's like an unsung, like, classic fucking match too. Like that.
Everyone forgets it's so the redacted sick. TLC match.
Yeah,
Jericho and Benoit won.
Sick.
So not only did the show get main evented by that, and that's what I kind of miss the pacing of these shows, to be honest with you, because every single match on the show was under 5 minutes.
It flows, right?
Yeah, every single match on the show was under 5 minutes, and the only one that wasn't was the main event, which was like 20 minutes. And like the pacing was great because the matches were straight to the point. The crowd reacted for all of them because they were straight to the point. They had backstage stuff between every single match. There was no look at the commentators. I don't even know if I saw the commentators once during the entire show. Maybe because what happened was it would go backstage after the match. It would come back and be like, this is the Stacker 2 moment of the night. And then they would show you the Stacker 2 moment of the night. And you'd be like, this is sponsored by Skittles, Burger King, Lugs.
This is the Lugs.
And all the stories
ABC.
interacted with each other. Every promo felt unscripted and like in character. Like even just something as simple as Bubba Ray saying something was just like, it felt like Bubba Ray was saying something, which I think is a little lost in today's TV.
Sure.
They had a Spike Dudley storyline going on with Molly Holly, which was incredibly dope.
I remember
that.
Yeah, where he's like, "That's my girlfriend," and Bubba Ray's like, "You better stop wanting pussy, Spike. You need to worry." He said, "You need to worry about that belt." He said, "Okay." But Spike Dudley interacted with like 4 different stories. He literally walked around the entire arena. So he walked to like Bubba Ray and Devon, and he's like, "Stop worrying about Molly Holly, bro. It doesn't matter. Start worrying about your cousins who got this TLC 3 match tonight." He's like, "Yeah, that's true. That's true." And then he walked over around the arena, and Molly Holly's talking to Kurt Angle, and Kurt's like, "Molly, fuck Spike Dudley," and Spike's like, "Whoa, get away from my girlfriend, Kurt." And he's like, "What are you talking about? You suck." And he's like, "Well, he goes, "Well, if I suck, then meet me in a ring right now." He takes the glasses off. I'm like, "Oh, here it goes."
Damn,
he's like,
dude,
"You know
Spike
what?"
Ruled.
Yeah, Spike was like, "Matter of fact, I'll take you to the ring." And he started walking to the ring. They literally did not cut from the camera angle. They walked to the ring through the crowd, and then Kurt Angle beat the shit out of Spike. I said, this rules. So like Spike is interacting with every single story. And then Kurt cuts a promo afterwards. He's like, "I don't know what was up Spike's ass, but I know when I'm going to put up Shane's ass. My boot." I'm like, "Oh, this rules." I'm like, "This kicks ass." Then they had the gimmick with the Radicals. And they had Raven, and he was facing off against Dean Malenko, and then Perry Saturn interfered, and then Raven dropped Perry Saturn on the chair, and then they go, "Damn, I don't know, man. Perry Saturn been dropped on his head a lot recently."
Is this a CTE gimmick?
Yes, and they go backstage, and like, "I wonder if Perry's okay." And Perry comes out the room, and he puts the hat back on, and he's like, "Perry, you feeling all right?" And he's like, "California squirrel ice cream." And he walks away.
That's the beginning of the moppy shit, right?
He's got the concussion gimmick, where he would get dropped on his head every week or get hit in the head with a chair, and he would just say random bullshit.
This was after he like shot on some dude in the ring during a dark match.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. That was afterwards. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Perry Saturn kicked ass. Then they had a 3-way, or it was like a 6-person tag intergender match. It was Steve Blackman, Trish Stratus, and Brian Christopher.
Puppies!
Yeah, this shit ruled, by the way. They were in a match, and they had a backstage segment with Steve Blackman and Trish Stratus, and they were against Right to Censor, by the way. And they were backstage, and Steve Blackman's getting ready for the match, and Trish, of course, is just being a complete pervert because that's just what she was.
I mean,
and Steve is like, I'm trying to get ready for the match. I don't care about your
Steve
titties.
Blackman didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, he's like, "I'm trying to hit this Taekwondo over here." And Trish is like, "All right, whatever then, Steve." So she gets behind the little thing and she starts getting undressed or whatever. And Steve's like, this stupid bitch.
Fine, I'll fuck her.
Yeah. And then so they get behind. So she's like, I can't get this thing unstrapped. And Steve's like, Jesus Christ, can you do anything? So he's
is
like,
this the kendo stick?
Yeah. So he goes behind the thing. And he's got his kendo stick. It's like, oh my God, it's so gigantic. You're so hard, Steve. And Brian Christopher does his entrance into the door where he's doing the banging it. He's coming through. He does the entrance and he just makes this ridiculous face and she's like, oh, he's so hard. Oh my God, look how big it is. And he's just like, whoa. So of course they go out to the match and they have the match. And Trish,
Brian Christopher to enter everything.
Brian Christopher always did the little dance in the room. So he does
the shovel dance.
Yeah, dude, that ruled. And so they do the intergender match, and of course, right to censor loses. And Trish, they get Trish to do the dance with the glass. They give her the glasses. She puts the glasses on.
Shit.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my God, she's gonna go crazy. So she does the worm horribly. I mean, it's the worst worm I've ever seen. No. I gifted on Twitter. You can check it out. Not only did she do the worm, she immediately after she finished the worm, I guess they thought she was going to do it good or something. So they hit the 4-corner pyro and it's going bing, 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 and it's horrible. I'm like, this is the greatest show I've ever seen. And I randomly turned it on.
I see the gif you're talking about. Oh, there's the pyro.
She go bing, 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 bing. He's like,
dude,
whoa.
she had her whole ass was out. Jesus
I know.
Christ.
And Steve Blackman had enough of her having her ass out.
He said, get out of here.
God, would you please figure out your titty situation?
Thoughts be gone.
So after that match, we go into so backstage we have Tajiri who's making his debut. I think this is Tajiri's first appearance in WWE.
Okay.
He's like, hey, I'm Yoshihiro Tajiri. And Regal's like, well, you're just Tajiri now. And Tajiri's just speaking Japanese to him. Regal doesn't know what's going on. And Regal, of course, knows who Tajiri is and like shoot. So he's like, Regal is confused on if he actually knows him or not in the show. He's like, welcome. I've never met you before. And he's like, I've seen your work, kid. You're pretty good. So he couldn't figure out if he knew him or not, which was funny. But the fucking Commissioner Regal ruled, and like Tajiri was awesome.
Dude, Regal was awesome. Like I wish that one run where he won like King of the Ring, and he was gonna I feel like they were gonna give him like a big push.
He got a punch over, dude. The dude rules.
Yeah, he was fucking awesome.
Then after that, they have the IC title match because Rhino comes in with Tajiri and Regal. He's like, "Can I fight somebody tonight, man?" And he's real pissed off for no reason because he's just Rhino. And he's like, "Man, yeah, I just want a match." He's like, "Can I face off against someone like?" And he's like, "No." He's like, "Oh, I would just face Kane then." He said, "Yeah, all right." So he goes out there to face Kane, and they have a fucking bullfight for 5 minutes. They beat the fucking piss out of each other.
That's awesome.
Kane just comes out of the corner with the stiffest lariat I've seen all night. I mean, Rhino just eats this thing. I gift that too on my secondary account. I actually put a video where you can hear Kane snugly.
Those are the best lariats.
And Rhino. And Rhino does not do the flip. He just takes the bump, and it rules.
He was forced to fall.
Yes, and that match kicked so much ass. It was only like 5 minutes, but that match ruled.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then the main event was the TLC 3, which they had been hyping up all night. They hyped this match up all night through the different storylines going on during the show, like the Radicals and Spike Dudley, and like I was like, this is incredible. Like they got like Team Hardy, Team Extreme backstage.
Honestly, I bet you were when you were watching, you probably were like focused on it too. Like you weren't like browsing and shit like that. I'm sure like the show like kept you.
Yeah, because everything was paced so well. Like the matches were so fluent. Like you don't need to sell super long on like a TV show. Like that's why that's why when people are like, oh, the 5 minute joints aren't, like the Attitude Era had 5 minute matches or whatever. But it's like they just basically what they did was they just took a lot of the long winded selling out. So like they would have a lot of the matches turned out to be like just bullfights where they would just go at each other and beat each other up, and then they get the storyline over, and then they would do an angle afterwards. And like the Kane and Rhino match ruled. Like that match was kick ass. You know what I mean?
That shit was awesome.
Kurt Angle beating the piss out of Spike Dudley also ruled.
I love that them going fucking from the back, just walking to the crowd, and
just walk and they beat him up.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And Molly Holly came out, and then Bob Holly and Crash were like, Molly, you got to go, because it was another feud with the Hollies and Team 3D. So there was like another story getting played at that time. Dude, I was like, this was impeccable. This show was perfect from like the start to the finish. It's like the best thing in the night happened in the main event, but everything else played up to build to that main event. And like when they came back from the shows, they showed they're like, WWE SmackDown sold out, and they showed the sign. I'm like, oh my God,
like the outside shot
just
and shit.
kicking. Yeah, so they're like sold out, and they're like the Stacker moment of the night, and they kept showing stuff and showing stuff and showing stuff. I'm like, there was never a down moment in this whole show. This ruled.
Yeah.
Got me fired up just talking about it.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're ready to watch another one right now.
Yeah, that shit rules. I can't oh my God, that's gonna be sweet.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. I would love to hear. I mean, I wouldn't mind hearing more about that often. That's fucking cool.
Yeah, that
I
shit
like
rule, man.